Soviet aggression has increased tenfold already. We don't have the manpower to fight Stalin's armies on every front.
Commander, you did a fine job rescuing Einstein for us. Now, we are counting on you again. One of the passes we use for a supply route has been blocked by the Reds. A convoy from the 434th is due through in a matter of hours. The supplies they carry are critical to our war efforts. Nikos, what we have in that area to work with?
Not much, and time is against us.
You will have to make do. Clear the pass so the convoy can get to safety. Their lives rest in your hands. Go!
Reinforcements have arrived. Mission terminal initial.
Welcome back, Commander.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Acknowledge. Ready?
This is our first mission where we get to build stuff, and there's enough new stuff that
Reinforcements have arrived.
these early missions get hard to try and not like fill out with content. Basically, the first things first, we're given our MCV. You can actually interrupt it and then move it and build it wherever you want. But for the sake of just playing through this normally, the MCV just builds where it is right now. We're also given a lot of reinforcements. There's nothing new so far other than obviously the medic that we have, which is probably one of the most useful additions in Red Alert.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting on. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Medics require a very small amount of time to basically play out their animation, and once the animation is successfully played, it heals up a unit. I don't know exactly how much, just because the rules any page is on. I haven't opened it up yet.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I've played this campaign a lot, so I kind of try to do funky stuff after a while. I was very tempted to try and capture the entire Russian or Soviet base, but it's not possible because engineers are locked out. This is kind of an example of why I actually really like riflemen, quote-unquote, in this game. They're basically minigunners, but they seem to shoot at least a little bit further. Maybe that's just the resolution and how the game plays out, but to me, they seem to have a little bit more range, and they're incredibly good when clumped up. Now, admittedly, the buildings don't exactly have the highest armor and HP values, except a couple exceptions, and like one specific item we'll see way later in the game. But still, it's important to show just how awesome riflemen can be.
Yes,
20
sir.
minutes remaining.
Affirmative.
If at least for the start of this.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Another thing we've seen is that the game, the version I'm playing on, which is the CNC Net version, actually has the extra tracks that I believe are all just custom stuff from the community. It's certainly nothing official. Oh, and hey, we don't have to build stuff right next to each other.
Have arrived.
Yes, sir.
It's probably the best addition that's ever been made to this series. At least once you go from Tiberian Dawn to this.
Affirmative. Reporting.
So the only mission critical thing here is that we make sure the convoy doesn't get destroyed. Technically, you can let the timer run out, and as long as the convoy makes it to their end position, there's no issue.
Very well. Yes, sir.
The only issue is that, well, I don't feel like wasting 17 more minutes of your lives.
Affirmative.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I think another important thing that distinguishes this game from Tiberian Dawn is just how much faster and better getting resources is.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
On hold.
Waiting
Cancel.
order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
War trucks just move so much faster. There's more minerals around for you to gather. The entire process is just better.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledged.
Now, under normal circumstances, the AI is much smarter in how it manages its base. In the sense that when the AI is under the impression that it will lose no matter what, and this usually occurs if you destroy the construction yard and the refinery. Because if it has no money and it doesn't have a construction yard, it can't replace buildings. So usually the AI just goes, alright, it's over, sell everything, and rush the enemy.
Construction complete.
And it doesn't happen here because I haven't killed the refinery.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Another thing that's a very nice addition to the Allied arsenal is the pillbox. They function similar to guard towers, however, I find them just better. We'll also get a second version of it, which is even more overpowered
Acknowledged.
against infantry, but more specifically against human players rather than AI.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
The rocket infantry is your standard fare. They're still slower than riflemen, they're still more expensive, but they're good against hard targets.
Convoy approaching.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
And that's basically the end of this level. If you clear out all the units, minus a refinery or whatever, as soon as everything's gone, I believe if just the base is gone, but regardless, the devs had the smart sense to actually cut down the timer completely. You're still at the mercy of the AI's pathfinding, as they kind of have to make their way from the top left corner to the bottom right.
Unit ready. Building.
Medic reporting. Medic reporting.
Oh, and two things quickly about the medic. One, a medic cannot heal itself, so you're always better off having two. And secondly, you can't shift and select a second medic. There's some weird property where you just can't. If you have a medic as a solo group, you kind of have to just select both or incorporate a medic into a larger group.